Well, Tokes, the government seems to be placing all its bets on this big national experiment, this grand national debate launched by the administration of Emmanuel Macron to try and sort out this crisis prompted by the so-called Yellow Vests movement. More than 200 meetings have been called for this weekend alone, and 35,000 letters have been sent to mayors across France explaining them how this debate will take place and inviting them to join, but more importantly, to open the premises of city halls and town halls across the country so that people and associations that want to gather to try and discuss some of France's most pressing problems can do so in a safe space. The idea really is to take the anger out of the streets and into these meetings to try and find solutions together. But for now, the Yellow Vests continue to call for more demonstrations. Several groups on social media have been calling for Act 10 to be held this weekend. One demand has been placed with the police here in Paris for a march that will take place on the south bank of the city. And other calls have been filed for cities across the country. And right now in the city of Souillac, a group has been gathering. There were clashes between protesters and the police. And that town is where Emmanuel Macron is set to launch the second edition of this debate later on today.
Anelise, do we have any indication as to any other tactics that the government want to do or the police want to do to crack down on security this weekend?
Well, for now, Tokes, the idea really is to try and make the debate the topic this weekend instead of talking about the protests. Authorities are, of course, preparing for what can be another big demonstration. Last weekend, the numbers were up once again. More than 80,000 people gathered across France. But what seems to be happening right now is that Emmanuel Macron is determined. He's placing all his energy into this debate. We saw a marathon session on Tuesday that lasted almost 7 hours. Once again this afternoon, he is expected to answer all questions placed by more than 600 mayors who will be joining Emmanuel Macron for this second session of the debate. So while authorities on the security front continue on high alert and continue to prepare cities and the capital for what could be yet another violent day of demonstrations, the politicians really seem to be focusing on this debate. Here in this country have been saying that it's very important that this doesn't become Emmanuel Macron's show. This is supposed to be a debate to address the people's needs, the people's grievances, and it's very important for the French president to remain à l'écoute, as we say here in France, to remain listening.
Anelise Borges there reporting from Paris. Thank you. Now, the European Parliament is backing plans to freeze funds to European nations that allow corruption, undermine the rule of law or meddle with the courts. The proposal set